My penis is bigger than yours. But it doesn't matter. I can hear people now, oh, see, man, he wish his thing was bigger than mine. Shoot, my thing is way bigger than his. What are you talking about? I'm hung like a horse. Then you got other people who will say, oh man, see that what I'm talking about? He one of them type of, we're gonna keep it clean first. But he one of them type of guys. He worried about the size of another man junk, size of another man penis. See, that's what's wrong with people today. That's what's wrong with black folks today. They always want to compare others to others, especially in regards to that. Man, that's so gay, it's ridiculous. This man gay. This man is sodomite. But you didn't even watch the video to see what I'm really talking about. What if my penis is bigger than yours? Does it really matter? This that real king talk. This for the grown folk. I got my notes. We about to go in. I got my notes, y'all. So you know when I bring notes out, you already know what time it is. Let's get it. Again, my penis is bigger than yours. So what? My penis is bigger than yours. Does it really matter? Now we've been in for a minute and 30 seconds, so we can go ahead and talk how we talk. My dick is bigger than yours, and what? Does that make you feel some type of way? Because my dang-a-lang is bigger than yours? Does it? For some people, they're saying, no, it don't make me feel no type of way. Yet they do feel some type of way because of their insecurities. Let's break it down. The average height of a man in the United States is 5 feet 9 inches. 5 feet 9 inches. Globally, the height of a man is 5 feet 7.5 inches. In the United States, approximately 14.5% of men are 6 feet or taller. Now, I speak this from the perspective of a man that is 6 feet 2 inches. I'm 6'2". That's just how God made me. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at God. He made us how he made us. But again, in the United States alone, approximately 14.5% of men are 6 feet or taller. Interestingly, despite only 14.5% of men actually being 6 feet or taller, 33% of U.S. men self-report that they are at least 6 feet or tall. The math ain't mathing. Indicating significant overestimation of self-reported height data. We have a tendency to do that, don't we? My thing is bigger than what I say it is. I'm bigger than what I say I am. I'm not 6'2". I'm 6'4". I'm 6'5". No, I'm 6'2". I'm not 5'9". I'm 6 foot. I'm 6'2". No, you're not. You're 5'9". I don't make this amount of money. I got money for the age. You know, I'm just rolling in dough. But then you struggling with the basic stuff, such as being real, to do something about it. This is what we're dealing with. This is what we're talking about. Let's break down the lies so we can come into the truth. Men who are 6'2" or taller represent approximately 3.9% of the American male population. I am about 3.9% of the American male population, standing at 6'2". According to height distribution data, this places them in roughly the 95th percentile or higher. Using normal distribution statistics with a mean height of 5'9" and standard deviations of approximately 3 inches, men at 6'2" fall about 2 standard deviations above the mean, making them relatively rare in the general population. So you talk about a rare breed in regards to height. I would be a rare breed. Most people are not 6 foot. Most men are definitely not 6'2" or taller. 68% of men fall between 5 7 and 6 feet. 95% of men fall between 5'4" and 6'2". Most of the population of America is going to fall in that category right there. Only about 5% of men are taller than 6'2". About 16% are 6'1" or taller. Globally, approximately 3% of the world's population stands at 6 feet or taller. The percentage of people worldwide who are 6'2" or taller is significantly smaller, estimated at less than 1% of the global population. The rarity of extreme heights becomes even more pronounced when considering that only about 2,800 people worldwide are estimated to be 7 feet tall or taller out of a global population of over 8 billion. Be 7 feet. I want to be 7 feet. Man, you are who you are. What about the women? Women at 6 feet or taller represent less than 0.5% of the global female population. She's an Amazon. She's a needle in a haystack, basically. Now, raise your hand, and you ain't got to physically do it, but raise your hand if you ever wondered, is mine too small? Is it my dangalang, is it too small? Have you ever thought that? I ain't gonna lie. I've thought that in my past, like, my thing small. I wondered that because I didn't really have anything to compare it to. It's not like, hey, let me see yours, you can see mine, so I compare. Yeah, mine is bigger than yours, so I'm supreme to you. You better on to me. Doesn't make any sense. And yet this is what people are doing. This is what men are doing. Not only in regard to that, but other stuff. The penis thing is just the foundation. We're gonna build on something strong. We're gonna build something strong, not flaccid. But for real, raise your hand if you've ever been in a situation like that. You thought to yourself, man, is my thing too small? Be honest. Be honest. Now, the average penis size. The scientific average erect length is about 5.1 to 5.5 inches. That's the average. Flaccid, meaning when it's not hard, is 3.5, and that varies, of course, just like you can have variation with the size. But the average, this is the average. Most men are within what they consider the normal range. Extremes are rare, but they are making it seem like the extremes is the normal. What am I getting at with all this? You are you. No one else can be you. If you're 5 foot whatever, that's what you are. If you are 5 foot and you're longer than what the average is, hey, that's you. Maybe you're tall and it's smaller. You are who you are. In the same way, you're not comparing your penis size to another man's penis size. Why are you comparing who you are? Why are you comparing yourself to another man? When you are who you are and they are who they are. Your identity isn't tied to measurements. When you do this type of comparison, no matter what it is, it steals joy, it steals confidence, and it steals purpose. God made you uniquely. Your value is not based on a numeral. Your value is not numeric. Every man is built differently, just like your fingerprints, your height, your voice, build, your anatomy is a part of your signature. The moment you start comparing, and let me make sure I clarify this, because at times it's okay to compare, but we aren't talking about comparing penis size. Yet that's what it seems like men are ultimately doing. How much money he got? Oh, I got more money than you, so that made me better than you. Stop. But the moment you compare, you rob yourself of confidence and authenticity. Comparison kills contentment. And when you ain't content with what you got, then you can't really enjoy what you have. There comes a point in time where you do need more. For example, I got 4 children. Our house is on the smaller side. I'm content with what we have because it works right now, but eventually, what am I going to need? I'm going to need a bigger house. By me going to get that bigger house, it isn't saying, oh, so-and-so got a bigger house, so I mean, that thing is bigger than mine. I'm comparing myself to them, so I need to go get a bigger house. No, if I see they have a bigger house, I'm like, okay, that's a nice house. How much you pay for it? If you if you don't mind me asking, this is a nice house. I wouldn't mind having something like that. Not because I'm not content, not because I'm comparing myself to them in that regard, because I'm envious, but I need a bigger house. I need more space for my children, for myself. I may have more children in the future. My wife still got a few good years in these eggs. Them eggs, right? Now, the man you're comparing yourself to probably has his own insecurities. Everyone is dealing with something. This person you're comparing yourself to, they can have everything, yet have nothing. And here you are trying to live up to their standard, which really isn't a standard. It's like comparing how much money or how many cars a person has to somebody else. There are many YouTubers out there. There's a specific popular YouTuber who has a lot of cars that black people, if you say anything against this man, black folks would claim that you're jealous. And I can say his name because I've made a video about him before. Now, spoke about that where people say, oh, you jealous of CJ on 32s. So basically you're saying that I'm jealous because he got everything that I want. Because he got more cars, he got more money. How do you know he has more money than me? Because he buys $1 million cars? So because I don't buy $1 million cars, I don't buy expensive cars, I mean he has more money than me? We own our house, still owe a little money on it. We owe like $5,000, just being honest, but we're not gonna lose the house. We own multiple pieces of land. I have money in my investment account. You don't know how much money I have in my investment account. You don't know how long I've been investing. You don't know what type of insurance policy I have. I could have an insurance policy for $1 million or more. My wife could have an insurance policy for $1 million or more. You don't know my financial situation to sit here and say that this man has more money than me simply because he buys cars. He buys these expensive cars. As I told you before, if I did or didn't, I'm not in a position to do that yet, because my priorities is my family, making sure that they are taken care of before anything else. The whole goal of YouTube is to build it under my media company and then use the YouTube money to pay for that stuff. That's just the wisdom I've been given. Everybody's situations are different. Everybody, works stuff how they work. CJ gonna do it how he do. I'm gonna do it how I do. You gonna do it how you do. But I'm not gonna compare myself and say, I'm not gonna be a groupie. I'm not gonna be like a cult member and say because somebody doesn't have what CJ has, they hating or they're envious or they're jealousy or they're less than the man. I'm not gonna do that. But you see so many people doing that. I'm just using him as an example. But again, it's like comparing how much money or how many cars a person has to somebody else. Does it matter if one man has more money or cars than another man? If that man has more cars, money, or even women, does that mean he is a better person or a better man than you? When did the measure of a man become determined by the value of a piece of paper based on the faith we put into it? Money is only, we talking about paper because we know that really ain't no money. Paper, money, is only as valuable as it is because it's backed by the faith of the people. So again, when did the measure of a man become determined by the value of a piece of paper? When did the measure of a man become determined by the value of a piece of paper based on the image of the ones on the money? And you know what I'm getting at. Is your value based on them, on their image? It ain't my face on it. It ain't your face. And it doesn't matter whose face is on it, even if it was my face. Is your value based on my image being on that dollar bill, that 50, that 10, that 20, that 100? Just because it appears that a person has a better life, it doesn't mean they actually have a better life. In fact, most that have all this stuff have nothing because they wish they had a life full of value. My life is full of value. My wife is valuable. Our relationship is valuable. My children are valuable. My relationship with my children is valuable. And I do not support or believe a man should be sleeping around with all these different women, having all these children outside of wedlock. That's just me. That's just me. People do what they do. I don't agree with it. And there's many reasons why I don't agree with it. A person gonna do what they do, but I don't agree with that. You have to understand that comparison typically comes from external voices. Most men don't walk around saying, mine is bigger. That idea usually comes from one, a woman's comment, intentional or not, Western pop culture and media where quote unquote bigger is better, pornography, which distorts the standard. Even if somebody's joking or there's casual comments from a partner, that can leave deep scars because words stick. They told us sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's a lie. Words do hurt. Words hurt. Well, you will remember something that somebody said 5, 10, 15 years ago. Let me tell you a story. When I was in high school, there was a table of popular females, and they were talking about their sexual experiences. They were talking about how so-and-so was whack, and these were the popular dudes they were talking about. And I'm sitting there listening and stuff like that, and they was going in. And I wasn't active during that time period having sex. I didn't get what we call active until later in high school. But that always stuck with me. And I remember still to this day, their words they spoke, and I told myself from that day forward, that ain't gonna never be me. They ain't gonna never be able to talk about me like that. I'm not gonna be whack when it comes to sex. And what did I do? I went out and I started to study the female body. I started to study what a female actually likes. I started to study what makes a female tick. I started to study what makes a female climax. Studying the vulva and all these different things, which led me down the road of pornography. All because of what some females said way back in high school. Now, it helped me when I was doing my thing, because I was doing my thing and the women were like, how'd you learn this? Where'd you learn this from? Because when I was active, I was sleeping with a lot of older women. And so older women, they have more experience most of the time, right? And then I took what I learned from them back to the women of my age. And so I was doing my thing, blowing their mind, and then they was like, what in the world is going on? They had never really been able to do that, put the effort in to make sure that the woman was pleasing, that they got theirs. Because I knew I was going to get mine. I knew that if I could get them to get theirs, that would separate me from every other dude. They always gonna remember me. Therefore, I'm in a situation where they can never talk bad about me in that regard. All because of what some females said in high school. And that led all the way up until I got tired of living that lifestyle. God, y'all can believe what you believe. I believe in the Most High, through His Son, the Lord Jesus Christ, or whatever name you want to use. He called me out of that lifestyle. I got tired of it, and now I am the man that I am today. I got tired of sleeping around. That's why I don't agree with the lifestyle, because I know what it leads to. It leads to a place where you don't really have peace. It leads to a place where sex isn't really enjoyable, just something to do. It leads to damage, not only yourself, but also the females that you're sleeping with. You end up setting a standard high, or whatever it is, and then everybody comes after you has to compare to that standard. If they don't meet that standard, then this man has no value because he's not well endowed below, or his sex game ain't up to par. Maybe he don't have that much experience. Maybe he hasn't learned. Again, that's why I don't agree. That's why I don't agree with the whole sleeping around. It does too much damage to everybody. It does too much damage to societies. It does too much damage to your family. It does too much damage to the world, and especially does too much damage to yourself and women. The media often picks idealized bodies, setting fake expectations. Western culture often equates virility, dominance, and worth with how big you are. If you're not 6'2", does that mean that you're not strong? If you're not 6'2", does that mean that your size isn't worth anything? It seems to be this obsession with size. And if you don't have the size, then you're not worth anything. We have movies, Western media, again, pornography that exaggerates body ideas. Real manhood is proven by integrity, by action, by character, not by your anatomy, not by you comparing yourself, or how a lot of these men act out here like groupies, members of a cult. You ain't got what they got, so you ain't a man, and you just because you want to be in their position. Maybe I do want to be in their position. We're going to get to that. Maybe I do want what they have, but I'm not going to sit around and be lazy. Maybe what they have is inspiration for me, and I'm envious in that regard. Again, we'll get to that. What ends up happening is we end up not comparing naturally, because there's going to be a natural comparison. What ends up happening is we're reacting to what's been sold to us, not what's based on reality. If a dude is tall, I'm 6'2", right? If a dude is 6'7", I'm gonna be like, oh, that's a tall guy in comparison to what? In comparison to me. But it isn't like, oh, he 6'7", he think he better than me. Like, I want what he got. He getting all the women. I'm not gonna do that. There's a natural comparison. There's nothing wrong with that. There's something wrong with the unnatural comparison. We also have toxic standards of manliness. The Western ideas tie manhood to physical dominance instead of purpose, wisdom, or integrity. Society conditions men to measure masculinity by money, muscles, and sex, which are all external things, while neglecting the external. I ain't saying you shouldn't take care of your body. I ain't saying that you shouldn't be masculine. I ain't saying that you shouldn't get your money. What I'm saying is these things are external. We are sitting here neglecting what really matters, which is the internal. These standards keep us as men chasing validation instead of peace. Because at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want peace, we want love. You got your rap videos. We can talk about that. Oh my God. And you also have ads that sexualize power. Normally, and this is what I found out to be true, the loudest image of manhood is often the most insecure one. The loudest image of manhood is most often the most insecure one. True strength is how you lead, protect, love, and serve people. This is why I named my channel The Life of a Real King. Being a man isn't just about size, it's about substance. Because you can be big, I can be big, and be full of shit. Let's be real. How many people you know, he full of shit? They don't have true substance. So it isn't just how big a person is or how small a person is. What is that person in reality? What are they? Who are they really? Are you a person that's full of shit because you're allowing yourself to be filled up with shit? 63% of men report pressure to appear more masculine than they feel. 63% of men report pressure to appear more masculine than they feel. What do you think this comes from? What about, here's what I believe. Comparison distracts from growth and purpose. While you're worrying about size, you ignore your gifts, your work, your mission, and your relationships. You waste energy chasing external validation instead of internal growth. While you're measuring yourself against someone else, you're not developing what makes you great. Every minute spent comparing is a minute lost building your goals, your legacy, and your confidence. You can't drive forward if you keep staring at someone else's car. I don't think y'all heard me. You can't drive forward if you keep staring at someone else's car. You too busy looking over there trying to see how they drive and what they doing that you about to cause an accident. You about to kill yourself. There's something called the psychology of envy. And what it does is it shifts your brain's focus from gratitude to deficiency. Now let's get into envy. Envy is the emotional pain that arises when you compare yourself to someone who has something you desire. It's often tied to feelings of inferiority, resentment, longing, or shame. Oh, we finna get deep with it. Ooh. Woo! Unlike jealousy, which often involves losing what you already have. Say it one time. Unlike jealousy, which often involves losing something that you already have, envy is about lacking what another has. Envy is about lacking what another has. Envy is rooted in social comparison. That's why social media is so powerful. You see people comparing what other people have. They got this, they got that, when they really ain't living that life you think they're living. If they are living that life, they are, most of the time, they are miserable. They don't have true happiness. They don't have true peace. They can't sit on their throne and be like, yeah, I rule as a king because I am a king, and with a true smile, not on their face, but a true smile inwardly in their spirit and soul. You see this vehicle I'm in right now, it's an old Mercedes. It's a 2008 Mercedes. It's mine though, it's paid for. This is a part of my throne. I'm sitting on an extension of my throne. I sit in it with joy. It ain't a McLaren, it ain't a Lamborghini, it ain't a Ferrari, it ain't a Porsche, it ain't a Bugatti. It ain't even the Benz that I'm working to get. One of the Benzes I want to get is there's many of them I want to get because I'm a car guy. But the S63, or really the S65, the V12 twin turbo. There are people that have that car. Does it make them better than me? I mean, you can make the argument. But I'm happy with the car that I have. It ain't the top dog, but it's a nice car. It drives good, got higher miles. But I enjoy it. It is an extension of who I am, and I am 100% comfortable and confident in who I am and who God made me to be, and the throne He has given me and the authority He has given me. This is what this channel is about. If I need to speak on somebody to make that point, to help somebody that's listening, then I'm going to do that. Again, envy is rooted in social comparison. You see someone else has more or better or is superior, and it triggers inner conflict. Often envy is hidden, even to the person feeling it. People disguise or suppress it rather than admit it openly. Envy is not just one thing. There are variations or faces that change how it manifests and how dangerous it is. Some are more toxic, others can be positive. You're saying that there's a positive form of envy? Yes. Just like there's a positive form of lust. They tell you that lust in itself is sin. Lust in itself isn't sin. Depends on what you're lusting after. And that deals with your heart. That deals with your heart. I'm married. I've been married for 9 years, going on 10 years. I lust after my wife. I strongly desire to have sex with my wife as much as I can. Is that a sin? Is that something that's wrong, me lusting after my wife? Now, there are things that she doesn't want to do, she's uncomfortable with, then that would be a problem. But everything we do, we're comfortable with it. She's comfortable with it. If we want to get a jar of honey and pour over each other and lick it off, whose business is that? Now, if she's uncomfortable with that, then that's a conversation I have to have with her. I'm just giving that as an example. And the same thing with envy. It can be positive. There has to be balance. Yeah, benign envy. This is a version of envy that spurs you to improve yourself rather than attack others. You desire what others have and use it as motivation. It can lead to upward striving. You desire what others have and use it as motivation. I see that S63, that S65. Oh, you got that? Ooh, that thing, nice. Man, that thing's sitting good. I'm not envious in the sense of I desire what they have, and I got this hatred that's brewing within me. I use it as motivation. How much you pay for it? Where'd you get it from? Man, I'm gonna get me one of those. This motivation for me, because I want that. I desire that. But guess what? I want you to have it. I want me to have it. I want everybody else, whoever else will want it, to have it too. You got a club of people that have Lamborghinis. You go look at the Lamborghini, man. I want one. They got one. I want one. You want to be part of the Lambros, but you want everybody to have one that wants a Lamborghini because they have worked. They have been motivated, seeing that somebody else has accomplished that goal. Then you have malicious envy. This is the dark side. You resent the other person. You resent they got that Lambo. You resent they got that S65 or whatever car it is. Some of you ain't no Benz person. Some of you, a truck or whatever it is. You resent that. You people wish for their loss. You pray for their downfall, as we say. And then it could lead to an act to degrade or undermine them. They always got something slick to say. You got the S550, the Benz, it's looking good, sitting good, but it ain't the new one. How many cars you own? Oh, you don't own no cars. I own all my cars except one. And that's the van. And we owe about $4,000 on that. And once I pay it off, I'm probably going to trade it, or I may keep it. You got this, but you ain't got that. You got that Benz, but it's an old Benz. It's sitting good, it look good, but it ain't that S65 V12 twin turbo that you want. But do you have one? Yeah, you got that house, man. Ain't nothing but a small house, 3-bedroom, 1 bath. You ain't finished the other bathroom. How many bathrooms do you own? You got a little piece of land, you bought them little pieces of land, them infield lots in the city, but you ain't got no acres. If I add up all the land, it's about an acre. Even if it wasn't. How many pieces of land do you own? You see what I'm saying? That's what they do. They want to degrade what you're doing, but they ain't doing nothing. Crazy. How many people do you know like that? They always got something to say, but they ain't doing a damn thing. They always got something to say about what you doing, what you aspire to do, but they ain't doing nothing them damn selves. Envy is more than an uncomfortable feeling. It carries real psychological weight, especially when chronic. It leads to lower self-esteem and shame. Envy often threatens your self-image. When you see someone, quote unquote, better, you feel lesser. You have an underlying shame is usually the driver of it. If you already carry shame, envy triggers more pain. Then there's the aspect of depression, anxiety, and a negative mood. Studies show envy is negatively correlated with resilience, and high envy equals more depression and less psychological strength. They are weak-minded. You wonder why they are weak-minded people? There you have it. They are envious. They have low self-esteem. And so they attach themselves to people who have high self-esteem. And if anybody says anything against that person, then they ready to go to war. Not because of that person, but because of themselves. They look up to this person. They worship that person. It's not that they want to be like this person. They literally want to be that person. It's a difference between being like somebody and want to actually be that person. They want to literally be that person. They want everything. They want to do a get out type of situation. That's crazy. There are certain people I want to be like. Okay, I like the way they're doing this. I like the way they're doing that. But I don't want to literally be that person. I want to be me. I want my own journey. I want my own trials. I want my own tribulations. Why? Because those things end up strengthening you. They forge your character. They remove the impurities of who you are. I don't want to be the same person I was yesterday. I want to be a better person than what I was yesterday. That's why I always reflect on my day when I'm winding down. There's also the cognitive load and self-regulation drain. Envy consumes mental energy. You focus on the other person, ruminating, which drains your willpower and attention. You also have memory biases. You might more vividly remember failures or compare continuously. How many of you are guilty of that? Remembering your failures like you have no success in your life. I like failures because failures, they serve as a reminder, a strong reminder. Failures also expose who you really are, because when you fail, you're either going to get back up and push forward, or you're going to fold. Most people fold because they are envious. They see another person that has, and they don't have, oh, what they do to get this and get that, well, I can't get it. Because you gave up. You gave up. Perfect example would be YouTube. As many times I want to give up. I'm making videos, I'm not getting paid. It may be a year, it may be 2 years before I'm actually monetized. And when I monetize, it's not like I'm going to be bringing in $1,000. My first YouTube check will probably be $100. Because I think that's the threshold. Here I am making videos. I had another channel that it wasn't this type of channel. It was a channel that was based on science and technology. And I put some money in that channel. I ain't gonna lie, I put some money into it. It took me a year to build it up. And YouTube came back and denied me. And so I tried again. They denied me. I tried again. They denied me. I gave up on that channel for right now. I said, okay, they don't want to monetize me. Let me focus on this channel right here. I was always going to put the work in with this channel. I would just focus on that channel because that channel was a little bit easier because it's mostly on the computer. It wasn't me speaking per se. It was, using technology, making more so informative videos. Did I give up on YouTube? No, because I'm here now. I'm not getting paid right now. Not getting paid. I wish I was. I'm working toward it. But am I going to give up? Of course not. If YouTube comes back and say, hey, we can't monetize you, am I going to give up? I'll try again. If they be tripping, then guess what? I'm going to go somewhere else and do something else. Envy also leads to social withdrawal and hostility. Envy can lead you to pull back socially, avoid relationships or interactions because of discomfort or inferiority, the feeling of inferiority. On top of that, the person may act hostile, they will gossip, they will sabotage or belittle the other person, especially when it comes to malicious envy. Then you have the distortion and perception bias. People often disguise envy. It's hard for others to reliably detect it because it doesn't always show as anger or resentment. You got to really discern a person to see how they're feeling. Envy also influences how you perceive others. You may exaggerate their successes or minimize your own. You may exaggerate their successes or minimize your own. So they don't really have to come out as angry and stuff, but they can exaggerate your, oh man, you doing it, man, you doing big things. And you know, like, I'm doing all right. You see that with a lot of people that follow YouTube personalities. Because of their own envy, they really envy that person. They make it seem like this person is God in the flesh. Like they can do no wrong. Although envy is often painted only as negative, it may serve certain social or survival functions. Envy can act as a status regulator, reminding you where you stand socially and pushing you to close the gap. Use as motivation. So-and-so got that Lambo. So-and-so got this. So-and-so got that. I want my own. I don't want theirs. I want my own. That's motivation for me. Envy in the regards of that, I desire that. Not because you want to compare yourself to them, but you desire that because you like cars. It could be a house. It could be whatever it is. It can sharpen attention, motivate effort if it's benign, and highlight what matters to you the most. Envy can also help maintain fairness or discourage complacency when others outpace you. That's a good one right there. Envy can also help maintain fairness or discourage complacency when others outpace you. The enemy of progress isn't failure, it's distraction. The enemy of progress isn't failure, it's distraction. Y'all are distracted comparing yourself to others, and not in a good way. Y'all are distracted because you are envious of what somebody else has, and not in a good way. Freedom comes from truth and community. This is what I believe. Speak with trusted men. Speak with trusted counselors. Or if you have your faith, speak with faith mentors about your insecurities. Expose comparison lies by bringing them to the light. Anchor your identity in values, faith, and purpose, not appearance. You heal when you stop hiding and start talking. Real men talk about insecurities. Silence gives shame power. But make sure you know who you're talking to. Encourage community. If you have brothers, talk to your brothers. If you have mentors, confide. Don't carry this alone. You don't have to. Social media highlights bodies but hides struggles. They always show you the good, but they don't show you the bad. They don't show you how they got there. Everyone's comparing, even the ones you think have it all. They compare themselves to somebody else, and you compare yourself to them. Truth sets free. Speaking truth out loud breaks the hold of shame. Freedom doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from the truth, and the truth is what sets you free. Here are some practical steps to stop comparing. Remove exposure to toxic media, pornographic images also, because that distorts your perception of truth and what is reality. Focus on what you can control: your health, your character, your service to people, and ultimately love and peace. If a comment from someone hurts you, filter it by asking, is that true? Do I let someone else define me? What somebody says can be true about you, but you have to filter it and see if it's true. If it's true, then you deal with it. If it's not, then okay, throw it by the wayside. Even if it isn't true, you can still learn from it and grow from it. Celebrate strengths, contributions, purpose, but also acknowledge and work on weaknesses. So, is my dick bigger than yours? It could very well be. Who cares though? Who cares? If you don't really care if my dick is bigger than yours, then why do you care about ultimately how much money somebody got, how many cars they got, how many women they got, all these other things? I'm talking about just in comparison. There are times when we should speak on these things. There are times when we should speak on these things. If a person is lacking money, then you want to give them an opportunity for them to make money. Why? Because you're not envious of them. If they got money, then guess what? They probably ain't gonna be asking you for money. I'm just saying. Now you can come together collectively and do something. As I mentioned before, I've been married for 9+ years. I don't compare my thing to nobody else's. My wife doesn't compare it to nobody else's. Why? Because she ain't worried about that. She don't be like, your thing ain't as big as so-and-so thing. Oh, really? Because you said something like that. Well, we can have a conversation. You ain't gonna like it. And that conversation is gonna be, we finna get a divorce. Because what you're not gonna do is disrespect me by comparing me to a man that you're not even with. Why even marry me in the first place? Thank God I've been blessed with the wife that I have. We don't do that. If my wife even thinks about some of my exes and comparing herself to my exes in the sense of she don't equal up to them, I remind her, you are better than them to me because I'm the one that married you. I married you, not them. Now my exes, they could go off and get married and their husband could say the same thing. That's them. But my wife is my wife. I'm her husband. This dick belongs to her. Whatever the size is, whether it's small or big, ain't no comparison. You see what I'm saying? And you all have to have that same mindset. The reason why you are comparing is mostly, especially when it comes to that, because of what some woman said. Because you out here doing things that you ain't supposed to be doing anyway. Sleeping around, exposing yourself to STDs and stuff like that. Oh, you can get STDs if you married. Of course, if a person is cheating. But why are you marrying a person that's going to be doing that anyway just to do it? You might as well stay single. I'm not saying that a person can't be married and then something happens in the marriage. We talking about you're bringing that behavior in the marriage. The question I leave you with is this. What are you going to do with this knowledge, this wisdom, this understanding? Are you going to continue in this destructive path? Or are you going to do better? There are things I desire. There are cars that people have that I desire to have. I'm like, man, that thing nice. They got one, I want one too. Not simply because they got one, because it's a nice car. But I see them having that and it's motivation for me. Like, oh, they got it. I'm more than capable also. We are all more than capable. But it seems that people would rather be lazy and not put the work in. And then when somebody reaches that pinnacle of accomplishing their goals, it don't even have to be a Lamborghini or whatever, Ferrari or whatever the car. It could be a house. It could be a truck. It could be a Honda. It could be reliable transportation. Somebody reaches that goal and then somebody wants to come in because they can't reach it and got something to say. When they ain't, the crazy thing is the people that always got something to say, they don't be doing shit. Except talking. It gets to the point, you have to get to the point where you don't care. People can come in the comment section and they can say whatever they say. I may say something back, I may not. It's not gonna stop me from what I'm doing. And then when I reach the goal, and you still right there, you ain't did nothing in life. You don't own nothing. I know we don't really own it. If you even though you own it, you don't really own it because taxes. And come on, man, like, you see what I'm saying? Do better, y'all. I'm out.